So now, yesterday we started with data types. We studied about identifiers, which are also known as variables. And we studied about constants. All are listening, right? So now we are
Yes, ma'am.
already we started with data
Yes,
types.
ma'am.
Yeah, and data types, why we are having the data types? To understand what type of data the user is planning to assign to a variable. So there are two things which are getting information. One is the compiler and the other is the user. If I declare a variable of a particular using a particular data type, what are the operations which I can do on that data value? What type of value I can store in that data variable? These are the information which I will be getting. And compiler will get to know that what the programmer is intending to do with the data, whether he is trying to display the name of the students or is trying to get the age of the student. Likewise, so what is the programmer's intention to how to use the data? When I am declaring a particular data, the user, for the user, what all information we will get? What are the operations which I can do with this data when I am declaring it as an integer data type? What are the values I can store in that variable when I am declaring it as a integer data type? So now we will see what are the different data types which are available in C. We are broadly classifying or making them into three classes: primary data type, derived data type, and the user defined data types. Okay, so the primary data types are the basic data types which are existing in C, and derived data types are derived from the primary or the fundamental data type. Primary data type is also known as fundamental data type. So derived, the term meaning is like we are deriving from something, right? So we are deriving derived data types from the primary data type, or we are making use of primary data type in order to create the derived data types. And then the third class is user defined data types. So we can also create data types these are all the fundamental data types, right? Integer, character, and there are certain keywords also for that. We should use only these keywords: int, character, float, and all. Those are the keywords, and we cannot use any other keywords if I am using the primary data type. But if I want to use my own name for the data type, I can go for user defined data type, that is using type def and enum. So I can also create it. So that there are certain built-in functions in C library. I can create function also, right? That is known as user defined functions. If I am creating data types, that is known as user defined data types. So primary data type is the actual or the fundamental data type, or the primary data type is the only data type which is actually existing. From the primary data type, we are deriving the data types which are arrays, pointers, structures, and union. Again, if I want to create my own type of data type, means I should go for the user defined data type using the keywords type def and enum. So is it clear? I'll be asking questions in between. Primary data type, example, integer, character, float, word. Derived data type, arrays, pointers, structure, union. So structure and union is somewhat similar. Arrays you have to study, and then pointers and one more chapters. For all these, you have one chapter. So listen now, and in this chapter, we are giving only the definitions and information regarding primary data type and user defined data type. Derived data types like arrays, pointers, structure, union is covered in one chapters later on. So first we will see the primary data type. So in primary data type, as we saw in the previous slide, we have different categories like integer, even float belong to primary data type. Yes, float is there, no, in primary data type. Float is also a primary data type. Understood? Sudhir was asking. So integer, float, character, and void are the 4 basic fundamental data types. So one more thing I'll tell you. In Balaguru Sami, which is our prescribed textbook, whatever data types are given as the primary data types, I am following the same textbook. You know, if you refer internet, there will be many versions. Instead of void, they may give something. So I'm just following the whatever our prescribed textbook is following. Okay, so it will be easy for you. Everyone will follow the same thing. So here in primary data type, we will be seeing integer, floating point type, and character. Floating point type is nothing but a float. Okay, character and void. In integer itself, we will be having short integer and long integer also. Okay, in all the 3, integer, short int, and long int, you might have studied only integer data type, right? We have short integer and long integer depending upon the number of bytes. Number of bytes assigned when you are declaring a data type of a particular, when you are declaring a variable using a particular data type. So when you declare a data type variable using a integer data type, how many bytes will be assigned? Short int means how many, and long int means how many bytes, that we will learn. So basically for integer, we will be allocating 2 bytes. Okay. So after that, we will study floating point type. You will be mostly using only float, but sometimes now to get more precision, you will be using double and long double. So these are the different types of floating point. And for all these, like for integer, we have unsigned and signed. If it is positive value, we will be just ignoring the plus sign to be given in the numbers. But if it is a negative number, we will be giving a minus sign, right? When we are giving minus sign, we have to allocate one bit for the sign. Understood? So 1 bit and 1 byte, you know the difference, right? How many bits will make 1 byte? Answer in the chat box. How many bits will make 1 byte? All will be knowing, just asking. Okay. So we will be out of the, so for integer, we will be giving, when you declare a variable as integer, we will be allocating 2 bytes. 2 bytes means how many bits? 16, right? 16 bits. Out of that, 1 bit will be reserved for the, if I am declaring it as a signed integer. Who is speaking of? Okay. So you should be listening over here. You should be attending the class where there is no disturbance. When I am unmuting you, you should not be like sitting in somewhere where you are having disturbance. So here, when you are having signed integer, 1 bit will be allocated for the sign. Understood? Now, likewise, character also. Character, we usually use char, right, for declaring the variable. So here we are not seeing the character array, only the character, because character data type is a primary data type. So number of bits it will be, number of bits and number of bytes it will be taking for character. And then for character, we are just saying signed character and unsigned character. Character array we are seeing in another chapter, in the array chapter, no, we'll see. And the last data type is our void. So we had seen in the beginning when we were using main, I showed you when we are not having any return type. When we are not having any return type, we will be mentioning it as void, right? Void means nothing. So if we are not returning anything, we will not have any data type. So those which do not have any data type, we will mention as void. Study now itself. I don't want you to study later. When I'm taking you, just listen, that much is enough. So what are the 4 primary data types? Integer, float, character, and void. Is it clear? So I'll explain with the slides. I'm just giving a basic introduction here. So in integer data type, why we are using integer data type? To represent whole numbers, right? We don't have any, if you don't have any decimal point, we will be going for the integer data type. Age will not have any decimal point and all. No, we will not give. We will be correctly giving without months. How many? What is the age completed? That only we will be mentioning. So integers are whole numbers with a range of values supported by a particular machine. So we are seeing only in Balagurusamy, we are referring only integer with that is for 16-bit operating system. We will be taking only 2 bytes, right? So for the C, we are C programming language. Listen here, for the C programming language, for the integer data type, when we declare a variable of integer data type, it will be taking 2 bytes. If you refer internet, it will be showing 4 bytes and all, but in your textbook and whatever for this compiler we are using, we are just giving, if you are declaring a variable of integer data type, 2 bytes, okay, 16 bits or 2 bytes. They can be either signed integer or unsigned integer. Usually we will be giving plus positive value means we will not mention the sign, but if it is a negative number, we will be indicating the sign. Signed integer uses 1 bit for sign. So when we are declaring itself, we can just give unsigned or signed. If it is signed integer, when we declare it, it has to be given as signed int. Unsigned means we can directly give int. Okay, so when we are specifying it is a signed integer, 1 bit will be reserved for the sign to store the negative number, negative sign. Got it? And other bits are used for the magnitude of the number, that is to store the number. Unsigned integers are always positive and does not contain any bit for sign. We are not, if I am declaring it as unsigned int, we will not reserve any bit for storing sign. So here, in order to this line, to understand, I'll tell you. So mostly, if I'm using only 16 bits, our operating system also, if I'm making only 16 bit, nowadays we have 64 bit and all, but more than that. But we are just referring to the word size of a computer with the 16 bits. Okay, that you leave. So if I am using a or if I am declaring a variable of data type integer, it will be reserving 16 bits, which is equal to 2 bytes. Okay, so if it is a int or a signed int, it will be reserving 16 bits. And what will be the what will be the size of the integer? What will be the value of the integer which can be stored in 16 bits? What will be the value which can be, up to what value we can store in 16 bits? Can anyone answer? You might have studied, I think. So if you are given 16 bits, in computers, we will be representing with the zeros and ones, right? Binary code. So if I am given 16 bits, I can use 16 zeros and 1. If I am using 16 zeros and 1, I think most of you might have studied here, no? In order to, all are listening or what? All are quiet today? Is something in the chat box also you type, then only I will understand you all are there. I think you all might have studied in order to represent 15. Up to 15, you need only 4 bits, right? You need only 4 bits. Up to the number 15, right from 0. If I want to print up to the number 15, I need only 4 bits, right? So this is determined by 2 raised to n, if n is the number of bits. Is it clear? All listen in the PPT. I'm just giving some information. So if there are 16 bits, I can store up to 2 raised to 16. What is 2 raised to 16? 65,536. Okay. So if I am having 16 bits, if I am having only 4 bits, I can store only up to the value 15. If I am having 16 bits, how many? What is the value? How much values, or what will be the value which I can store using 2 raised to using 16 bits? 2 raised to 16. That means 65,536. will be the last value which I can represent using 16 bits. Is it clear? So we will be, are you getting or not? You just message in the chat you are getting. Can be stored, right? Some of you maybe might have studied also. If I'm having 4 bit, I can store up to number 15. If I'm having 16 bits, you know what is 16 bits? I'll be writing 1 0 1 1 1 like that. No, 16 bits I have to write. So I can, if all are ones, then the value will be corresponding to 65536 65,536. Got it? So if I am reserving, even I am declaring a variable of data type int, then I'll be given 16 bits in the memory. So I can give the variable value up to 65,536. Got it? If I give, if I declare a variable a of integer data type, and if I am giving the value 70,000, it will show error. Is it clear? If I am declaring a variable a of data type integer, and then in the next line if I give a equal to 70,000, because we can store only up to 65,000, right? If I give 70,000, it will show error. So now, as I told before, if I am giving, if I am declaring a variable, you can either declare it as unsigned int or you can declare it as signed in. In unsigned integer, 16 bits are used to store the value. So we can give from 0 to 65,000. But if I am giving it as a signed integer, what will happen? In order to store negative value, we can declare it as signed integer. That time, the 16 bits can be used to store only from, that means you can have a negative value as well as positive value. No? So we are not going for 65,000 from 0 to 65. We are not storing. We will be storing from minus 32,768 to 32,767. That means in between 0 will be there. You know, from negative value, when we move on to the positive value, middle we will be encountering our 0 also, right? How it will be going? Minus 32,768, minus 32,767, like that. So one bit will be reserved for the sign also. That's why it came up to 67. So we will be able to store from values minus 32 to plus 32,000. Understood? This is only for understanding. I just kept this, and all you need not write for your when they are asking the question, you just need to mention how many bits we will be giving. That is 16 bits for an integer. That means you can write 2. What is 16 bits? 2 bytes. Okay, and then unsigned integer will be allocating, all will be 16. Then there is a difference for the number of bits allocated for int and short int. As the term indicates, integer will be allocated 16 bits. Short int will be allocated only 8 bits. What is 8 bits? What is 8 bits? How many bytes? 8 bits. 1 byte, right? So we will be allocating only 1 byte for short int. And again, short int is also having signed short int and unsigned short int. Got it? And for long int, so one is short int. Short int will be allocated lesser than integer. And long int will be allocating double that of integer. Long int will be allocated 32 bits. If you are having 32 bits, how many, like what will be the last value which can be stored using 32 bits? If there are 16, 2 raised to 16. If there are 32 bits, you can store up to 2 raised to 32. In calculator, we have to see what is 2 raised to 32. That much big value we can store, that is 2 raised to 32, right? If I am giving 1 for sign, then it will be 1, no, we have to reduce. So 1 bit will be reserved for sign. Similarly, unsigned long int. Unsigned long int means we can store from 0 to 2 raised to 32 minus 1. Is it clear? So for just if I am declaring the variable as integer, it will be allocated 16 bits or 2 bytes. Write down in your note, Integer means 16 bits or 2 bytes. Short int means 8 bits or 1 byte. Long int means 32 bits or how many bytes? 32 bits. 1 byte is 8 bits. So 32 bits will be 4 bytes, right? Okay. Okay, good. All are answering. So here, so this only you have to remember. Integer means 2 bytes. Throughout the program, when we are writing also, short int means 1 byte, long int means 4 byte. Understood? Only this much you should remember. Study it, no? Integer data type, and you can just write one more line. Signed integer means 1 bit will be reserved for storing byte. So as you can see here, 16 bits means like this, no? 111, like you can count, there are 16 bits, right? We can have up to here it is 16, but if I am declaring it as a signed integer, the first bit will be used for storing the sign. Is it clear? All are listening, right? The first bit will be used for storing sign. If I am indicating the first bit as 0, then it is a positive integer. If it is 1, then it is a negative integer. In order to make you clear, this is not, it will not be there in your textbook. I am just to understand how the 16 bit is used for storing the value. Understood? So what is, what I just now told, 8 bits is called 1 byte. One general knowledge. What is 4 bits called? What is 4 bits? What is 4 bits? Answer in the chat box. Let me see. What is 4 bits called? 4 bits. What is the name for 4 bits? Not 32. 32. What all are answering? What is the name of 4 bits? F-O-U-R. The number 4 I am asking. Here you see, if there are 8 bits, it is called a byte. If there are 4 bits, it is known as a nibble. This is only some general knowledge, that you should be knowing. 4 bits is called a nibble. Half byte is not there. It is called a nibble. Okay. Understood? It's clear, right? You will be asked some like for companies when you are going for interview and all. Sorry. Now, which is the next primary or the fundamental data type? Which is the next fundamental data type? Float, right? Floating point type or float. We will be declaring it as float. Floating point numbers are defined in C by using the keyword called float. What is floating point numbers? You know what is floating point numbers? Floating point numbers are numbers which are having decimal values, right? That is real numbers. So floating point numbers are stored in, listen here. So integer, you should keep it in mind. Integer will be making use of 2 bytes. Got it? Short int is making use of only 1 byte. Long int will be making use of 4 bytes. Now we are coming to floating point. In floating point, when we are declaring a variable using float, you are allocated 32 bits, that is 4 bytes. Is it clear? So whatever size we are allocating to long int is same as floating point. Floating point also 32 bits, that is 4 bytes. Now, if you want more precision, no? So here if I am giving, what is precision means that like after decimal point we will be rounding off, right? So if I want more precision, you can go for double data type. Instead of float, if I just write double, it will be giving you 14 digits of precision after decimal point. No, 14 digits it can store. After decimal point, it can store 14 digits of precision. It is allocated 64 bits. That means 8 bytes. 8 bytes. Are you getting? When I am declaring, so double is also a data type which can store decimal or real numbers. Instead of float, if I give double, the computer will allocate 64 bits for storing the the value, and it can store 14 decimal digits. Now, if I declare it as long double, if I want 20 digits instead of 14 digits of decimal point, after decimal point 20 digits if I want, I can declare it as long double. Then a computer will allocate 80 bits. That means how many bytes it will be there? 80 bits means, answer in the chat box. Yeah. So it will be 10 bytes, right? So that much bytes will be allocated if I'm. So in the previous data type, we were declaring integer, short int, long int. Now in float, we have float. In float, we will be allocating 4 bytes. Double means 8 byte. Listen here. Double means 8 byte. Long double means 10 bytes. Is it clear? You write down in your notebook only these things. Float 4 bytes. Double 8 bytes. Long double 10 bytes. You know how to convert into bits, right? Okay. So in order to get more precision, you can declare the instead of float, you can use double and long double. So I have kept in a table. So here we are using that scientific notation, no, to show the value. This is exponential. E means 3.4 into 10 raised to minus 38 to 3.4. That range you need not remember, but still you have to get an idea that how many, what will be the, if we are given 64 bits, what will be the value which up to which we can store 2 raised to 64. If you are given 80 bits, 2 raised to 80. In calculator you can find. If you are given 32 bits, what is the last value you can store? 2 raised to 32. Up to 2 raised to 32 value you can store. Okay. Now, the last fundamental data type. Fundamental data type is also known as primary data type. So, the last one is known as a void data type. Void data type. Or the void type has no value. If you don't have any value, we don't have any data type, right? If I don't have any value, you need not mention the data type. In such cases, we will be referring it as void types. These are used to specify the return value from the function. So if I don't have any return value, you just mention void. That means we don't have any data type. Void type does not return any value. So those are the four. So character I didn't tell, no? Okay, I didn't keep it in order. So the last fundamental data type is our character type. So the character data type in C are defined using the keyword called character, CHAR. You will be using short forms only for declaring the data type. Integer, we will be just using int, right? Likewise, in character, we will be making use of CHAR. Characters are usually stored in 8 bits. So you may be thinking characters will require more, but actually character requires only 1 byte. Tell me another data type which we studied now, which is using allocated only 1 byte. Answer in the chat box. Which was the other data type which will be allocated only 1 byte or 8 bits. Just now we studied in the fundamental data type. Which is that? Short int, right, good. In short int, not primary. Primary data types, which are the primary data types? Now answer in the chat box. Which are the primary data types? What are the 4 fundamental or the primary data types? Integer. No, you just tell me integer. Float. Your last side answer is integer, float, character, void. Okay. So those are the fundamentals. So inside, like when we go with the integer itself, we have short int and long int. For float, we have double and long double. And character void character, you have a character, only character is there. And then you have signed and unsigned. Understood? Character array is coming under arrays. Okay, because it is derived from character. Okay, listen. Now for character, we are allocating only 8 bits or 1 byte. And for short int also, we are allocating only 8 bits or 1 byte. So you can have the character also because it is a constant, only one letter will be there. You can either have it as a signed or unsigned. Got it? So if it is unsigned, you can have from 0 to 255. And for signed characters, you can have minus 128 to 127. Okay. Now the